Hey guys, how's it going? It's Vikram Singh back to my Python the series of basics. As in my previous tutorial, I talk about how can we create a variable and how can we assign a particular value to a variable. And in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about how can we swap the content of two variables. So for that, let's understand the concept of swapping. So swapping basically means, suppose we have two buckets, one in my right hand and one in my left hand, and each of those buckets contain a wall. The wall in right one is a red, the wall in left one is a white. So using swapping, we're gonna do what? We're gonna interchange the content of these two buckets. So the final outcome will be something like this: the wall in left bucket is red and the wall in right bucket is white. So this is what we're going to do using Python. So for that, we first create two variables called variable 1 and variable 2. Let's print these variables. First print var1, print var2, F5, enter. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try one general thing that generally a beginner do when they begin with. So generally they say var1 is equals to var2, var2 is equals to var1, and we try to swap the variables using this way. So let's try to print it. Print var1, print var2. So F5, enter. So see, oh no, wait a minute, it creates confusion. So let me first comment the upper one. So just highlight those two, Alt F3. Okay, let me print again. See, so it says that both of the variables are 9. Why? Because in a first attempt, when we assign a variable 1 which is equals to variable 2, the value of variable 2 is what? 9, and which is assigned to variable 1. And very next step, we assign that particular variable 1 to variable 2 again. Means that we assigning a one variable again and again. So that's why it's not gonna work. So let me comment that. So for commenting, just highlight the portion that you want to comment and press Alt F3. Next, so through this wrong way of doing, we got one idea that if we introduce one more variable between those two variables, then the problem will be solved. And this way of swapping is called as using temporary variable. So let's say using temp variable. So we're gonna do what? In that particular temporary variable section, we have two options available, whether we can perform using two temporary variable or we can perform it using one temporary variable. So first we try with using two temporary variable. So first we create two temporary variable called temp1 and temp2. Temp1 is equals to, and we're gonna assign a value of our variable 1 to that temporary variable, var1, and temp2 is equals to var2. So the values of our initial variable, variable 1 and variable 2, are stored in these two temporary variables. Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna reassign values to our variable var1, and we're gonna say var1 is equals to what? Temp2, so that we can store the value of temporary variable 2 in variable 1. So this way, because temporary variable 2 is equals to variable 2. So similarly, var2 is equals to temp1, and let's print these two variables. Print var1, print var2, F5, enter. Oh, I just forget this. F5, enter. So this says that swapping of variable is done because initial value of our variable 1 is what? 5, but here it is 9, and same with variable 2. So we can perform this. And now we are talking about using one temporary variable. So let's remove this. So we say temp1 is equals to variable 1, and we say var2 is equals to what? Because temp1, because we already stored the value of variable 1 in temp1. So F5, run. So again, it says swapping is done. So this is how we're going to perform the swapping using two temporary variable or one temporary variable. And the next one is we're going to perform swapping using mathematical function. So for that we say var1 is equals to var1 addition var2. So variable 1 is now the summation of variable 1 and variable 2. In the next step we say var2 is equals to what? var1 subtraction, because var1 is a summation of 5 and 9, and we're going to subtract 9 from that summation, and we say subtraction var2. And now the variable 2 is stored the value what? So this way we change the value of variable 2 from 9 to 5. And next we say var1 is equals to var1 subtraction var2, as the value of variable 2 is already changed from 9 to 5. So when we subtract it from variable 1, the variable 1 is going to be what? 9. So let's print them. var1 print var2. So let's print it 5, 10. So see, 9 and 5 means the values of variable 1 and variable 2 are swapped. And the next one is that we're going to perform swapping using multiplication and division. And it's pretty similar to this one. And I leave that up to you guys, that try by yourself. So this is how we generally perform swapping. But here we are talking about Python. And Python always brings something out of the box. So what next? I'm going to tell you that I'm going to tell you a way through which you can wrote all those particular lines of code into a one line of code, and let's do it. For that we say var1 comma var2 is equals to var2 comma var1. So it's pretty similar to previous lecture where we did what? We assign a value to a multiple variable. So same thing is going to happen over here. So let's print that. Print var1 var2 F5 enter. Prints 9 and 5 means swapping is done. So this is the beauty of Python, guys. Whatever we did over here in the 3 lines of code, we can do that particular same thing within a single line of code. And probably this one is the best among all. As always, please let me know in the comment section what you thought about this video. And thanks for all your support and subscription. See you in the next video.